The Philippines, despite its small area, is considered the fifth most richly endowed country in the world. In 1994, the estimated levels of metallic and non-metallic mineral reserves stood at 7 billion metric tons and 50 billion metric tons, respectively. This richness makes the Philippines attractive to investors and mining corporations.
The world's big and small mining companies arrive at the invitation of the Philippines government. Currently has 44 mining companies, of which 37 are operating mines. So the mining industry focuses on the building of big open pit mines to take advantage of economic scale, but operating this in a wet, muddy, tropical environment like ours yields ecologically ruinous practices that cause erosion, ocean pollution, and produce toxic mining disasters, which we have experienced in 1996 from the Mark Copper mine or on Marindoque Island.
Thousands of people were affected by the ecological disruption. As the government sought to open more of the Philippines to new mines, people fought back. Many died in clashes with security forces, and opposition leaders were murdered, one of which is Father Mark Anthony Ventura of Cagayan, who was allegedly murdered due to his strong anti-mining advocacy.
The Tampakan project, since the discovery of mineral reserves there in the 90s, has been facing an ongoing clash. The opening of the mine in Tampakan, South Cotabato, has been pushed back due to the opposition of indigenous communities, the Catholic Church, the environmentalists, and even the communist rebels.
From the Catechism of the Catholic Church, we are taught to respect for the integrity of creation. Nature is destined for the common good of the past, present, and future of humanity. As said, but what would we have left for the future if we continue irresponsible mining today?
Man's dominion over inanimate and other living beings granted by the Creator is not absolute. It is limited by concern for the quality of life of his neighbor, including generations to come. It requires a religious respect for the integrity of creation by Catechism of the Catholic Church.
The Diocese of Marburg has long regretted the mining project, citing its potential, environmental hazards, as well as concerns over food security and the human rights of the indigenous peoples in the affected area. But a greater sin against the integrity of God's creation is committed by those who with impunity pollute rivers, seas, lakes, and industrial waste, and for profits systematically destroy our forests, causing the destruction by droughts and floods. Today, as never before, we recognize the moral demand for responsible dominion over nature.
Mining might help the province's development, but it would also significantly affect the water system and the agricultural sector and the production of crops. So let us respond to the calling of this church to support these IP communities and provide more opportunities for them instead of destroying their ancestral lands and putting the life of every South Cotabatoños at risk.
Let us not be dazzled by potential profit nor allow our province to be sacrificial lamb to relieve our national economy. No mining will ever be responsible and sustainable.
As Pope Francis has said, mere corporate social responsibility is not sufficient. We need to ensure that mining activities lead to the integral human development of each and every person and of the entire community.
Let us protect our land.
Protect our nature.
Protect our future.
Let's speak against it now.
Save South Cotabato and the neighboring cities and provinces by saying no to open pit mining.
Save Cotabato and the neighboring cities and provinces by saying no to open pit.
Save South Cotabato and the neighboring cities and provinces by saying no to open pit mining.